The Dark Money Cabal, Remaking the Federal Government in the Image of Today's Progressive Democrats and Their Woke Policies. In his book, O'Neill exposes the network of socialist billionaires and dark money groups powering it all, and reveals how these organizations want to change your life. Tyler, tell us about wokeism. Why is it essentially neo-Marxism? And how is this related to the Democrats' dark money group Arabella Advisors, which is itself, I suppose, the ultimate example of wokeibus, right?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me, John.
Sure.
I think the fundamental nut and kernel of woke ideology is that cultural Marxism piece. I have a 4-part test in the book where I define it, because I think a lot of people are confused about what woke exactly means. I say it's an amalgam, a comprehensive worldview that brings together critical race theory, gender ideology, climate alarmism, and a preference for technocratic government. This sort of top-down government by experts. And they use that top-down bureaucracy to push these ideas through the federal government and through many different institutions. So when you talk about cultural Marxism, when we look at the history, so Karl Marx, naturally, first real communist, he identified as socialist and then said we needed to have the people take over the means of production. And in the 1848 revolutions, there were many who thought, oh, Marx's ideology is going to win the day. And as it turned out, those revolutions proved rather disappointing for Karl Marx and others. And his ideology kind of struggled to take off until 1917, the Russian Revolution, where the Bolsheviks were able to fully implement it. And there were a lot of problems that even the communists acknowledged that the Bolsheviks had. And so if you fast forward, you have this new amalgam where American elites with the Frankfurt School say it's not enough, you can't just take the means of production, this isn't just a worker movement. What we have to do is bring together all the different oppressed classes who are going to take power and level the playing field. And they're the ones who are going to get rid of the evil capitalist system. And so they wanted to bring together racial minorities, sexual minorities, pretty much as in 2020's America, it was the intersectional Olympics. If you could prove that you were black, gay, trans, you go down the list, then you can justify taking power. And the elites wanted to, flip the scales because they have this idea. So cultural Marxism is the idea that society is inherently oppressive to minority groups. And those minority groups have to take over power in every sector of society to remake society to level the playing field. So it's an essentially revolutionary mindset, but revolutionary in the social sense, not in the American Revolution sense. So, and that way, it's echoing the French Revolution, not our noble revolution.
And that's Marxism in action, woke policies, Marxism, cultural Marxism. Then tell us about Arabella Advisors, and why is that, in your book, somewhat of a nefarious actor in all of this?
Yes, well, Arabella Advisors, founded by a man named Eric Kessler, who is very close with the Department of Agriculture in the Biden administration. It is a for-profit company.
Does he have Marxist ties as well?
So I'm not entirely familiar with his exact ideology, but he's funded a lot of these very leftist causes. Him in particular, it's climate alarmism ratcheted up to 11.
Well, climate alarmism itself, the climate cause, has its roots in Marxism, correct?
Yes. It's another one of these beliefs that capitalism as a system is inherently destroying the environment, and we have to fundamentally remake our system in order to save the planet from this theoretical sword of Damocles that they keep redefining what the ultimate climate crisis is.